A century ago, foreign fruit companies carved this land into sprawling empires, moving millions of tons of bananas on railways to feed global markets. Before corporations arrived, these jungles concealed empires of stone. The ancient Mayan city-states laid a foundation that still hums beneath the modern surface. Today, that surface is fractured. Away from the postcard shorelines, the modern reality is defined by extreme wealth disparity, localized inflation, and complex gang networks. Look at the divide on this chart. On the mainland left, local wages sit between $350 and $500 a month, locking in an incredibly low cost of living. On the right, the Caribbean reef offers the cheapest scuba certifications on the planet. The economic leverage is massive, but accessing it requires navigating intense logistical friction. Treating this country as a single uniform destination is a mistake that gets people into trouble. To survive here, you must actively calibrate your footprint to match your exact risk tolerance. Let's evaluate the entry mechanics. If you hold a passport from the US, UK, Canada, or the EU, or carry a valid US or Schengen visa, you can walk in for 90 days completely visa-free. You just submit the mandatory online pre-chequeo form before boarding your flight. The map reveals the hidden trap. Honduras is part of the Central America 4 Border Control Agreement, along with Guatemala, El Salvador, and Nicaragua. That 90-day clock applies to the entire bloc collectively. You cannot simply hop across the border to reset your visa. If you commit to the mainland, the financial advantage is staggering. In major hubs like Tegucigalpa or San Pedro Sula, securing a functional one-bedroom apartment inside a heavily guarded gated community will rent you between $350 and $650 a month. Compare that to the Caribbean enclave of Roatan. It is a spectacular, heavily secured island sitting directly on the Mesoamerican barrier reef. However, that effortless security and ocean access comes at a premium. Heavy expat demand effectively doubles the cost of living on the island compared to the mainland. The choice is binary. You can capture massive financial savings, but only if you are willing to sacrifice the insulated, turnkey safety of the holiday islands. Let's examine the reality of living where it's cheap. Major mainland hubs like San Pedro Sula are dense, chaotic, and governed by strict unwritten rules. These are territories marked by complex urban gang boundaries, or maras. Operating here demands high tactical vigilance. You do not walk down open roads displaying high-end tech, and you never advertise wealth. Your logistics are completely dictated by the clock. You avoid isolated neighborhoods after dusk, and you travel exclusively using vetted private transport apps. When the sun drops, the atmosphere tightens. Navigating these narrow corridors at night requires a constant, hyper-aware scanning of your environment. Yet once you step inside the safe communal zones, the tension breaks. You find a slow-paced, deeply traditional culture, anchored by family connections, soccer, and the national street food staple, the Baleada. Mainland rent is undeniably cheap in dollars, but you pay the difference every single day through a strict security tax on your personal freedom of movement. The backbone of this country is physical labor. Massive textile assembly factories, or maquilas, drive the industrial sector, employing thousands in relentless shifts. Outside the factories, the economy relies on intense agricultural muscle, extracting premium exports like coffee, bananas, and palm oil from the soil. The yield for local workers is incredibly thin. With median wages averaging $350 to $500 a month and corporate work demanding fluent Spanish, finding direct local employment as an outsider is a dead end. Then there is the environment itself. From June through November, the region is locked in a brutal monsoon and hurricane window. The math is clear. To survive here physically and economically, you must arrive with an independent, external remote income and restrict your travel to the dry season between December and April. Honduras is not a playground for novice travelers. It rewards intense intentionality and heavily punishes the unprepared. This chart outlines your decision tree. Do you have a location-independent income? If no, look elsewhere. If yes, define your exact priority. For absolute safety and cheap scuba, route to Roatan. For maximum capital retention, route to the mainland and adopt strict captical protocols. The unprepared backpacker gets chewed up by the logistics, but for the seasoned remote earner, the discounts are a powerful asset. Would you baseline your digital life on a Caribbean coast where scuba diving is the cheapest on Earth? Let us know below. Next up, Hungary, the low-tax thermal fortress of Central Europe. Subscribe to stay real.